think the world is quite extreme right now? I mean, let's go back a whole 4 years and, 2019 and the fires, which were horrible, intense, and crazy. Then COVID hit, and there was fear and death and the overwhelm of the health system internationally. And that was pretty horrible and intense and crazy. Somewhere in there, Hong Kong protested as China took it over. The Taliban reclaimed Afghanistan and women's rights were thrown out the window. Europe flooded, Australia flooded. Gosh, a lot of Southeast Asia and islands have been destroyed. South America. It got so intense and horrible and crazy and extreme that I just stopped watching the news. I don't know if you've done that. I couldn't do it anymore because it was too much. And to be honest, I'm like, extremes are meant to be the end of a spectrum. So like somewhere along you're meant to come back. Like there's a whole rest of the world, but there was no rest of the world. There was just extremes. Every day on the news, it was so intense. I just had to turn it off. My psych agrees that, this sort of world trauma stuff does actually really affect us as individuals, even though here in Australia we are pretty lucky. And when I have to deal with stress and trauma, what I do is I normalize things. I find ways to make things acceptable. I reframe things. And I found myself trying to do that with all of this crazy stuff that's going on in the world today. But I didn't like normalizing these extremes for 3 reasons. Number one, if this is normal and this is the world I live in, I don't really think I like living in this world. Number two, by making these the normal things, I found myself, I don't know if you've noticed, it's like, where's the stories about extreme famine in Africa? Where are the stories about, I don't know, mass shootings in the US? Because there have been I think 3 at least already in 2023. Where are the stories about the individuals who are suffering? We don't have space for them because things are so much bigger. And the Ukraine war is kind of like the culmination of all of that. It is the ultimate in disrespecting each other and wanting to hurt each other and validating your own behavior and causing physical, environmental, as well as human destruction. And everybody in the world wanting to and having to play a part in something, but no one really having control over it. That's pretty extreme. And it just makes everything else seem so much less important. And that's the third part, I think, is I don't want to make this normal. Because if it's normal, then it is acceptable. Normal things are the norm. They're acceptable. They're kind of what we expect. And if that's the case, then I think we kind of stop fighting. And I don't want to stop fighting. Not yet.